And please welcome the CEO from Proxce, Madhu M.
Good morning, Phocuswright. We are Proxce, and we provide real-world identity services. So let's see what that means. You have an identity. In fact, you have multiple identities, and that works great online. But when you come to the real world, you still have to rely on manual forms of identification. Even though most of your information is stored online, someone still has to validate your ID manually and provide some services. And that's a big problem because that's what causes check-in lines. And if in the real world, you cannot seamlessly cross-sell as you would online. In the real world, you cannot provide access to areas or things as simply as you would online. So that's why we built Proximity Identity Manager that provides contactless identification for the real world. So we start with your identity, then we give identity to location, like this building, lobby, or parking lot. We use technology like iBeacon and Eddystone. Then we give identity to things, like the door locks or the thermostat. So if you take hotel as an example, when you come in contact with the hotel, we will immediately detect your presence, work with the reservation system at the hotel, and check you in by sending you the room number. After that, you can go directly to your room, and the door locks will identify you and look for mobile keys on your phone, and then unlock the door for you automatically. If you happen to drive a smart car, your car can log into the parking garage before you leave and pay for parking without any human intervention. But the beauty is all of this is done as federated identity, which means the identities themselves are never stored with us. It's stored at wherever the source systems are. We can tell what sort of relationship an identity has with the location. So if you go to your office, you're an employee of that building. But if you're at the hotel, you're the guest. And everything is proximity-based, so we can tell where you are. We can exactly pinpoint your location indoors and do much more advanced location tracking. So let's watch a quick video that explains this.
How can your business offer a personalized, context-specific experience to your customers? With Proxce's real-world identity services. With Proximity Identity Manager, a business just has to register their location in our system, configure micro-locations and smart things, and give actionable attributes. IT systems are connected using our industry-specific transaction APIs. The business can choose what type of guest identities will be allowed to interact with their system. And they can ship a branded app that uses Proxce's SDK and APIs for advanced identity and location management. Then, when she arrives at the business, the system immediately detects her presence and identity and takes appropriate action, like assigning her room number based on her reservation if it's a hotel. On successful check-in, she will be issued mobile keys that lets her in her room, the pool, the gym. If she drives a smart car, her car can log into the parking garage to gain access and make parking payments before leaving. With the real-world identity services, you can build more contextual, personalized experience leading to many revenue-generating opportunities. The possibilities are endless.
So we started this company last year, and we spent a lot of time just on the product development. We launched our product earlier this year, and we have customers who are both small, medium-sized, and large luxury hotels. We're talking with 21 large or medium-sized businesses to deploy this solution sometime next year. So we all know the market is really big. Just the check-in alone is a huge number. If we add a small dollar value to that, it's a multi-billion-dollar market opportunity, which is today virtually untapped. But the best part here is the market research suggests that 3 out of 4 people would use keyless entry if it was made available to them. The bottleneck is not the end users, it's the infrastructure itself. So we have something for different sizes of hotels. So if it's a small or boutique size hotel, they can leverage our subscription model, which offers just the mobile check-in. But for larger hotels or companies who have their own app, we provide location-based licensing. And for an extra cost, we can provide advanced services like indoor navigation, expense report integration, and things like that. So we have provisional patents for this technology, which works on Bluetooth-based identification protocols. And we have SDKs and APIs, which will allow us to become a company like MasterCard or Visa in the future. And it's completely secure and encrypted, and we have taken care of privacy issues from users. And we have a great team who knows what they're doing. We have years of experience working with identity management system and location services. We come from all major companies as well as startups, and we have worked with large hotels like MGM Grand and Fairmont. We also have great partners who help us with certain parts of this technology, like keyless entry and indoor navigation. So just to wrap it up, we have built an identity manager for the real world, which can associate your identity with a micro-location as well as a device. It's very easy for smaller businesses to try out and the larger businesses to incorporate within their own app, whether it's a hotel or a travel app. We have just started off with hotels, but this is scalable beyond hotels. It can be applied at bars, restaurants, or even airports in the future. And we have a great team and advisors who are from major Fortune 500 companies who are helping us reach out to different hotels, and we are experts in building identity management systems and location services. Thank you.
Nicely done. Very nicely done. Into the Dragon's Den you go. Dragons, 3.5 minutes. What do you think?
I think this is probably fantastic, but I want to tell you that this type of technology, it is, for me, a little bit borderline between either fabulous or creepy. One of my friends here at the conference last night saw a friend of his in the distance, a woman he knew, and texted her and said, hey, let's get together in the bar. And she texted back and said, okay, I'll meet you in 15 minutes. And then 10 minutes later, he got a call from his wife, who had been at home on her iPad, iMessage and all that sort of thing, and sees these text messages. She calls him up and says, who's this woman you're meeting in the bar? And it was totally innocent. And this falls into that category for me. I should just get over it. It's the way things are going. But there is a line there, man, and you probably are some of the guys that are going to cross it.
Absolutely, and that's a very good example. Privacy is a double-edged sword. So if you have too much privacy, you won't get the experience. But what we have found is letting the end user know how we are using your location. For example, we don't track you if you go to the bathroom or anywhere, right? We are trying to provide a non-intrusive experience where this serves a specific purpose, like either it checks into your room or unlocks the door. In fact, we have not even opened it up for offers and things like that yet. So if you want that kind of service, you'll be open to it. And obviously, you can control certain aspects of it manually as well.
And if people are not too concerned about privacy, I like the model, but at the same time, I was commenting that I think there is a lot of work to do. First, to convince the providers to come with you is a little bit like the meta search of the keyless. And the issue is that each of the hotels, for example, they are starting to work on implementing their own keyless. The question is that can you convince several of them to come to your system? And then you need to convince the customers to subscribe to your system as well. So if the technology works, that's wonderful, but you will have to have a bunch of providers and a bunch of customers on both sides.
Absolutely, and that's a very good point. Few of the hotels have, there were 2 major hotels, now there are 1. So they have built this in-house, but this is our core competency, so we know what we are doing. So they've just integrated with a bunch of partners and made it work, but we think we are focused on providing that end-user experience, and we'll keep up with the technology as we go along. And the best part is, as I was referring to, it's federated identity, which means the hotels are very afraid of sharing their end-user data to a third party. With our system, it can remain with them, and we can facilitate that transaction without sharing that data with us.
Well, I love this. I'm sorry, I love this. I've been here for a few years. I'm like, where is this technology, this hotel technology? And so I'm a big fan. And it seems to me like there's an offer to really partner with the hotels and drive ancillary revenues, right? Drive up offers when the person checks in, and that's a big opportunity for you as well.
Absolutely. So we are working to incorporate machine learning into this so that even if we are pushing offers, it's more non-intrusive, where we're just not just pushing even if they want it or not. So that's
Nicely done. Nicely done, Madhu. Thank you very much.